Hey, hey, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Drill, baby, drill sounds amazing if the government actually controlled the oil in this country, but it doesn't. Mm. Let me bring up this picture I had. Here we go. We don't control our own oil. And that's where a lot of people are getting confused right about now, right? Because we keep hearing the same thing. We got oil in here. I had people in my and a couple of my comments say, we got oil, we can produce more. It don't matter about the Strait of Hormuz. We just gonna drill, because you always hear President Trump talking about drill, baby, drill. Okay. Then why are we still paying high gas prices if that's all we got to do is drill, baby, drill? That question by itself should tell you something. Because the way people think this works is not actually how it works. Most people believe if we got a lot of oil in America, we should be able to control it, right? That sounds like common sense. That's not how this system is set up. That's not how this works. In this country, most of the oil is controlled by private companies. Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, not the government, not the government. So right there, you got your first disconnect from a lot of people. Because I had to explain this to somebody who got into my comments. We just gonna drill. We ain't got to worry about that Hormuz thing. We ain't got to worry about that. That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. Because when politicians say we're going to produce more oil, they can't flip a switch and make us produce more oil. They're asking the companies to do it. They're asking the companies that drill here to do that. And those companies, they don't make decisions based on what's best for us, what's best for the United States citizens. They don't make decisions because they make decisions based on profit. So if prices are low, they slow production down. So if prices are high, they ramp it up. So you still gonna pay some money, and they probably loving this right now, that we got to pay more, maybe 40, 50 cents more for gas. So now think about what that means. When you hear, we're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. That don't mean jack shit, because the government don't own no oil pumps. The government don't own the production. Okay? That does not automatically mean gas prices is going to go down. Gas prices are going to continue to rise just like this as long as that Strait of Hormuz is closed. And here's the part that people really don't understand. Our oil is not just sitting here for us. It's not just American oil. It gets sold on the global market. And that means it goes to the highest bidder. Just like everybody else's oil. They selling their oil to us. We selling our oil to them. They don't keep their oil. We don't keep our oil for us. So even if that oil is drilled right here in the United States, that don't mean it stay here. It really doesn't stay here. That doesn't mean it's reserved for Americans. Ain't no reserved for Americans. These companies are in it for the profit, just like everybody else. It becomes a part of that global system that the Strait of Hormuz is a part of. It becomes a part of that system, okay? So it's a global system where countries and companies all over the world are competing to buy our oil. and we are competing to buy oil. So now think about it. We're producing oil, and we're also competing with the rest of the world for the same oil. And that's why prices don't just drop, because we drilled more oil. That means nothing, because that oil is priced globally. And this is where people start asking the question, why should we care what's happening in the Middle East? This is why. There's a place called the Strait of Hormuz. And about 20% of the oil passes through that Strait of Hormuz. 20%. So when there's tension there in the Strait of Hormuz, like it is now, when Iran starts making those moves like they're doing now, that's not just their problem. That's not just other countries' problem. That affects global supply. And when global supply is threatened, prices react the way they are, with it going up immediately. And that includes you, that includes me, that includes everybody's gas prices. So even if America produces a lot of oil, we are still tied to that global market. And that market sets the price. We don't set the price. American oil the American oil, they don't stop. The oil companies don't stop here in the United States and say, oh, okay, let's just make the oil for United States citizens. Let's just do that. They don't do that. They go with the highest bidder. The market sets the price, not the president. Drill, baby, drill. Ain't no fucking drill, baby, drill. President don't have nothing to do with that. Only thing president has to do with drilling here in the United States is giving permits, making it easier to get permits, making it easier to get oil, making it easier. That's all he can do. He can't tell nobody to drill, baby, drill. He don't have nothing to do with that. Okay? Let's be clear. He don't have nothing to do with that. And that's another thing people need to understand very clearly. Donald Trump does not set anything. No president ever has. Okay? They are not the people who control what the global market is willing to pay. They don't supply shocks. They don't control supply shocks. I'm sorry. They don't control any of that. They don't control fear in the market. So when you hear people promising about, well, we're going to lower the gas price and we in charge of the gas price, you ain't in charge of no gas prices here. There are other things that are in play, bigger than any one country. And at the end of the day, we as consumers are subject to those global market prices. We are not protected from those, just like nobody else is protected from those. No other person not insulated from those. We're all subject to those prices. Okay. So here's where we get to where my article comes into play. 6 U.S. allies back potential Strait of Hormuz coalition. Because they understand everybody is messed up in the game. As long as Iran is in charge, everybody is messed up in the game. Okay? Because now we got some allies starting to step in and say, oh, wait a minute, hold up. You clowning Iran. You messing the market. You messing it up for everybody. 6 Western allies just came out and said they support a coalition to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Now pay close attention. They didn't commit any troops, though. They didn't say they were going to send no troops over there. Boots on the ground. They didn't commit no ships. This is support on paper. On paper. But that alone should tell you how serious this situation is about to get. Because countries don't even signal support like that unless something bigger is at risk. Something bigger is at play. And what's at risk? The global oil supply. Because if that strait stays blocked, and there's many factors that go into that strait being blocked. Iran don't even have to block it. That's all Iran has to do is make it so the insurance companies say you owning a shipping company, you're uninsurable because they might blow up the ships. The insurance company might tell the ship people on the ships, we can't insure y'all, and it will be shut down effectively. Iran don't even have to do a thing. That's all they got to do is threaten to blow ships up. And as far as we can see, there's some that's been, hit, blown up or whatever. There's been some that have happened. Now we on that shaky ground where insurance companies are saying, we ain't finna help y'all. We ain't sending none of our ships in there. We ain't insuring nothing. And when you have a ship and everything that's worth billions of dollars, you can't afford to take that ship into that Strait of Hormuz, else you lose that ship and you lose your insurance. So if that strait stays blocked and that oil don't move, prices are going to continue to go up, skyrocket like they're doing globally. And that comes right back to you and to me. And here's the part people are missing. Even these allies, they're hesitant to get involved. Some of them already said they don't want to send no ship. How they going to send ships and I end up with my ships blown up? Because you and Israel decide y'all going to start a war. And then I lose my men. Okay. Then I lose my men. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Let me hang up. I'm sorry. I couldn't figure out how to hang up. Okay. So some of them have already said they don't want to send no ships. So what you're looking at is support in theory, but hesitation in action. And that should tell you something. This situation is not so simple. It's not having all the might and having all the ships that you want to go over there doesn't mean anything, because that strait is only 21 miles long and they can launch rockets, mines, they can launch all kinds of things to blow ships up. Okay. It's not that simple to get over there and say, we're going to stop Iran. It's not that simple. Now, don't nobody care about no war. They care about that Hormuz Strait. And it's not going to go away overnight. 1 week's worth of hesitation, it's a problem. It's a problem now. So you got rising tensions over there. You got a global choke point. And you got Iran saying they're not backing down. Iran said, hell no, you brought your ass over here. You going to bomb me? We going for broke up in here. We going for broke. So this isn't just about politics. This is about economics. This is global pressure. And this is something we are all going to feel for a minute. So yeah, you might want to buckle up, because if this escalates, it's not staying over there. It's coming straight to your wallet. And until people really understand this, we're going to have to keep having these kind of conversations with people in my comment section, talking about we gonna drill baby drill what? Your president ain't got nothing to do with that. We're gonna have the same frustration, same gas price, same talking point, and nobody really explaining why our gas is gonna continue to go up. So now you know, ain't nothing no president can do about no gas. I said that a long time ago. I said that at the beginning. Donald Trump can't do jack shit about no gas. Okay? Nothing about the gas. So it is what it is, and this is where we at, and hopefully it changes soon. But for now, our gas price is going to continue to go up, and we're going to have a problem. We just going to have a problem. Y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. I will be back with more content. We will be back with more content. Love it. Love it.